Hi, PI members. It's Jason Blake here, PI president. And today I'm here with Palmer Schoening. He's our government relations person for PI. And we've been spending some time together. And today we're going to talk about the big, beautiful bill. But we're not going to get into tax today, so don't worry about it. Today we're going to focus on what really matters to you, one of our core value propositions, workforce. Palmer, you and I went to the Hill last week and we talked about three core issues that we're going to focus on PI. Can you cover those really quickly with our members, what we're focusing on?
Yes, so our three core issues, small business tax relief, regulations, and that includes DOE and EPA and OSHA regulations, and then workforce, which is going to be a huge issue for us in terms of advocacy.
Yeah. And the workforce thing is that's what we're going to talk about a little bit today. And in this big, beautiful bill, there's two things that are buried in this thing that, a lot of folks haven't talked about. And the first one that really focuses on workforce is the expansion of the 529 bill, focusing on career and technical education. Can you expand on what they did with the 529 plan?
Yeah, sure. So just stepping back a little bit, we have had some positive developments in recent years overall on CTE. And we talked about the Perkins funding that was renewed in 2018. That's about $1.5 billion. That's now going to community colleges for career and technical education.
Right,
And in the one big beautiful bill, as you mentioned, 529 accounts may now be used for career and technical education, which was a huge improvement that not
right.
many folks are aware of.
Yeah, and I think that's really important that, you know, there's this workforce shortage. And one of the biggest issues before this was finding the funding to get these folks into this career. So now we can allocate funds from the 529 to fund these careers. And secondly, all these dollars, and I believe it's over $1.5 billion from the Perkins, is being funded to the states to do this. So we want to make our members aware they should reach out to their states, to their agencies. All those agencies in those states are different, so they really have to, reach out and figure out, where that funding is coming. But that funding is there. It's going to take some time, but they should reach out to their states to start getting those dollars. Very, very important, and we'll assist them and give them some information on how that will work in the future. But two opportunities to really fund workforce in the future.
Absolutely. And a big part of our push is going to be to increase that Perkins funding. And there are a number of bills that we're supporting on the federal level to do even more. Some deal with the Pell Grant program. There's the Workforce Development Modernization Act. On the Senate side, there's a bill on WIOA, the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act. So this is an all of the above strategy, again, with the end goal of making sure our members have qualified candidates to fill a lot of these open
Yep.
roles.
And at the end of the day, I've talked about this a little bit. The beauty of workforce it goes across the aisles. I mean, everybody can agree that, we have to build the workforce to drive the work, to drive the infrastructure. And it's a great topic that we can talk about on the Hill, right?
Absolutely. There is bipartisan agreement to do a lot more in this space. And a lot of the provisions that are in these bills, they comport with what we're doing with the technical certification pilot program, the foundation initiative, career and technical education, training, job assistance. So you talked about kind of bringing this full circle to where what we're doing on the PEI side, again, marries up with what Congress is trying to do to create a pipeline of qualified workers. Because looking forward, not just this year, but 10 to 20 years down the road, we're going to need a lot of workers in the petroleum equipment industry to keep things moving forward.
Well, Palmer, I appreciate you talking a little bit about this. And you guys and PI members, this is just the tip of the iceberg. We're going to be talking a lot more about this and focusing on more about this. This is the first awareness about this. Thanks for joining us for this PI News Watch. I'm Jason Blake. We'll talk to you soon.